Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to review the iPad 7th generation 2019 with a storage of 32 GB that I got around a year ago and that I've been using regularly since as a medical student in France. I do not use it on its own as I also have a MacBook Air as well as physical notebooks and a planner, but the iPad has really become my main productivity tool. I've been seeing a lot of videos about the iPad Pro and the iPad Air, but the videos about the classic iPad are rare. I've searched for them a lot when I was looking to buy it, and I didn't see as many as the other iPads. But spoiler alert, it's worth it. I want to point out that I cannot compare it with the other iPads as I have never personally tried them. But after using this one for a year, I didn't feel the need to upgrade it. I've also been using it while having online classes. So yeah, I wanted to point that out because it's obviously have been super useful in that time. So first I'm going to show you where and how I bought the iPad. And so yeah, I got it on the Apple website. But this is like the new version. This is the 2020 version, I think. Whilst I have the 2019 version. It's kind of the same and it's the same price as well. So I got the gold version and I got it in 32 GB and I got it only in Wi-Fi. And I got my free engraving for free. And so yeah, I got that. And I got the Apple Pencil at the same time actually. Got them both on the Apple website. It's $100 and €100 and it's 428. Also, I believe if you're a student you can have free AirPods if you buy an iPad. The iPad Pro starts at it's around 1,000. The iPad Air starts at 600 and the iPad 8th generation is around 300. So it's a third of the iPad Pro and half of the iPad Air. So it's like you have to consider this because as a student you might not have the money for an iPad Air or iPad Pro. So that's why I wanted to make this video to see that the iPad is actually very useful as a student and that you don't have to spend all of your money that you have saved up all this time in these other iPads. Like this one is worth it in my opinion and as a student. Okay, so we are back here and we're gonna be talking about the apps that I have on the iPad and how I use them. So here on the side you have the widgets like you would have on the iPhone, and then there's the apps here and the bottom main apps here. So first of all I have Safari, of course, and then there's a calendar that I don't really use that much on the iPad, but all of these I'm not gonna be speaking about. You have the reminder, but I use that on my iPhone. Then you have YouTube, but yeah, I don't use it as much on the iPad because I use the iPad for studying. Then you have Pages, and I don't really use Pages. Then interesting stuff, I have Notion. So in case you haven't heard about Notion, okay, this video is not sponsored by Notion, but yeah, I use Notion. As you can see, I put aesthetic cute photos in here, but yeah, I use it because I have all of my planning. For example, there's a weekly agenda here that is a template that I got for Apple Chicks if you wanted that template. I don't really use it that much, but then you have this is like where I put all of my lectures that I have to read and then how many times I've seen them. So I use this quite a lot, and not only on the iPad but on the phone and on my MacBook. But yeah, that's why the iPad is nice because you can have this on all of your other things like the phone and the computer. Then you have Procreate. Procreate is you have to pay for it for around €10, and Procreate works the exact same on the other iPads too. So if you were wondering, you can do Procreate stuff on the iPad 7th generation and 8th generation too. Then I have Quizlet. As you can see, I love Quizlet. These are medical apps. So if you want to know all the apps that I use specifically for med school, maybe tell me in the comments. Okay, so the first screen is what I use really for productivity, and then the second screen is for relaxation, because yeah, it's like Twitch, Deliveroo, Netflix. I'm not gonna talk about them that much. And then here you have all these that I do not use, but the most important is the apps that I have on the bottom. So first I have Spotify, which I love, and so yeah, the way the Spotify app is on the iPad, I love it because it's very pretty in my opinion. The layout is very nice, and I just use like study playlist on it while I study, so it's perfect. My favorite study playlist is this one from Brian, which is like the owner that won YouTube study with the inspo. So I really like that. And then wait for it, GoodNotes. Everybody applause for GoodNotes. I love GoodNotes so much because it's where I have like everything. And that's the main reason that I got an iPad, was to use GoodNotes, because it's such a good app to study. So you can like have different notebooks and different files. For example, I have these files for my year, and different notebook for the subject. For example, this is the subject I'm studying these days, and so it's like a notebook, and I did a little decoration because you have the pens, different pens that you can use, different colors that you can use, highlighters, shapes. You can even add pictures. And so what I do, for example, here is for these notes, I put pictures of stuff here and with my notes, and it's very nice. You can also have different what was I gonna say? Yeah, different sizes of papers, different types of papers are very nice. You can also have your like pages of how do you say, pages of books. I was searching for the word book. Yeah, it's very nice, and you can highlight it and everything, and it works super well on the iPad 8 and 7 generation. And you can also have, wait a minute, you can also have like a little map, a little summary of the different notes, so that you can reach them in the notebook if you have a lot of pages. So that's what I use it for. It's very easy to use, and it's just nice. It makes it fun to study. You can take notes on notebooks, take notes without the notebooks. Look at me, I am taking notes right now, and it's very useful to do this with the Apple Pencil as well. Perfect. Look at me go. And when you do this up, you can you can be oops, and it does a straight line. And I love that there's a lot of colors that you can choose from. Like, you can basically do all of the colors of the rainbow. Yep. You do shapes. Yeah. I recommend you watch specific GoodNotes video reviews, but this, you have to remember that this is a paying app. You have to pay €10 for it, which is around $10 as well. But it's not that expensive. You pay once and you never have to pay again, and then you have the app. And it's so worth the money. And I also got Notability, which is you also have to pay for, and yeah, and it's also around €10, but I got it for the same reason. It does not work the same way at all. Like, as you can see, you don't have files, you don't have notebooks. So a lot of people like GoodNotes better because it's more aesthetic and cute colors and everything, but this is more of a minimalist how do you say, like, interface. So yeah, I have what I use. The difference in what I use Notability from GoodNotes is that in Notability I store all of the notebooks that I like, all of the books that I have, all of these PDF versions of books. Notability never lags. GoodNotes sometimes lags, and that's why sometimes I'm like, maybe Notability is better. So yeah, no, Notability never lags, even with this 32 GB iPad 7th generation. It never lags. You can just write everything you want, and it's like, okay, I'll do it for you. So yeah, I use this mostly for books. But you can also do plain pages and write your own notes on Notability. But that's not what I use it for. Yeah. Then I have a Google Drive. Actually, the apps that I use the most are actually GoodNotes and Notability and Google Drive. So just with these apps, I find that this is the easiest to use. This is that I have all of these subjects in the same place. So it's just so practical, and you can then take the iPad and everywhere with you, and you have all of your classes in one place. And I love having everything in the same place, because then if I have something's here and something's here, I'm like, this is so messy in my head, and I just rather have everything in the same place. First of all, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my Apple Pencil cover, which is a carrot shaped. I got it from Amazon for a little bit over 10 euros. And the link would be in the bio. There's a little cap that you can take off. That's that. I am now going to show you my Apple iPad cover, which is not Apple. I don't know why I said that. It's from this brand. I have a little sticker from Egg Tabet. Here I have 2 stickers from Nutut, which is a feminist organization in France. And yeah, I love this cover, and the proof that I love this cover is that this is the first cover that I got 1 year ago, and I still use it. But yeah, it's just very practical, and it's just like any other cover, I think. But that's how it looks. And then I have a few little stickers on the inside as well. Okay. And now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my screen protector. So as you can see, I have a screen protector on this iPad, and so this is a screen protector that has a paper effect. It is not the paper like that the YouTubers do ads with, but it is the screen protector that I got on Amazon. Wait a minute, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a demonstration for you guys. So here I go. If I want to write with it with the Apple Pencil, for example, can you hear this? Yeah, it sounds like paper, and it's very nice and very comfortable to write with. I love it. Lastly, I am going to talk about the positive and negative points. For the positive points, the price. Obviously, it's a very cheap iPad, and of course, some people can't afford this iPad either. But if you want an iPad, that's the cheapest one. Then it has the same functions as the other iPads. Like, honestly, there's no difference. You can download the same apps, do the same things. Then you have the light. Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering why I wrote light. Yeah, so it's very light and it's very easy to carry around, which is always nice compared to a desktop or a laptop. And then there's the connection to other Apple devices like your phone and your laptop. But there are still negative points. The storage, it depends. Okay, so this is particular to mine in particular, because I bought the 32 GB storage, but maybe you would need more storage. Because of my 32 GB storage, sometimes the iPad doesn't flow as quickly as as I liked it to, or I can't store as many things as I like it to. Maybe take the storage a little bit bigger, but you can have higher storage on this iPad 8th or 7th generation too. Then there's the Apple Pencil, because this is the only iPad that you have to have the Apple Pencil first generation. So maybe if you like the second generation better, you can't use it on this one. But this can be a good side as well, because the Apple Pencil second generation is higher in price too. The Apple Pencil first generation is already 100 euros, but the Apple Pencil second generation is even more expensive. And then there's the screen. You might have heard it somewhere, but like if you check out the screen. It's not, there's a space between where you write and between like the actual light and the actual color of the screen. You will see other videos explain it better than me, but yeah, the quality in screen is better in other iPads. So if that's something that's important to you, for example, if you're an artist that wants to make art in your iPad, maybe that's something that you might want to consider. But if you're a student, this really changes nothing. Then there's the design. Of course, you would see this first. There's this Touch ID that looks like it's from the 1970s, but because everybody has a Face ID nowadays, but it's fine with me. And you people that have the iPad Air have this too. So they have the entire screen black and tactile, but they have a Touch ID on the side. People that have the iPad Air, the newest one. So yeah, they don't have Face ID either. So, but if you love Face ID, you would have to get an iPad Pro for €1,000. So that's your choice. And then there's only one screen size that you can choose for. I personally really like this screen size. It's a 10.2, and I think it's perfect for me. But some people that might wanna, like for example, if you want to take notes, wait, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, if you want to take notes from a textbook, sometimes it's not that practical because it's kind of a small screen. It's not as small as like the iPad mini, but it's still not as big as the biggest iPad Pro. So yeah, you might want to consider this also if you're an artist as well. But yeah, as I was saying, the iPad Pro is meant for professional or artists. So if you're a student, honestly, not worth it at all. And comparing it to the iPad Air, I'm pretty sure it's like not that much that's different. In conclusion, it's perfect for studying, functions perfectly after 1 year. It's not for you if you're a pro or an artist. It's so much worth the price. You can put your questions in the comments and subscribe, as I wrote in my little thing that I prepared for this video. As you can see, I prepared a lot for this video, so maybe give it a like and share it. Bye!